Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Hirsch. I'm here at the Traders Expo in Las Vegas with Dan Gramza, Gramza Capital Management, and we've been talking about all kinds of markets, and I guess interest rates and energy we were going to talk about, right?
Yeah, yep, and we should talk about those. And before we do though, Jeff, I just got a question for you.
Sure.
Tell me about when the Stock Traders Almanac going to be coming out.
The new Stock
know
Traders Almanac.
This is something that's...
You asked a very timely question, my friend. It's out. It's right here. It is just came in. I just had a couple boxes sent here from the warehouse, and we'll be offering people here. So I'm glad you asked. It's brand new.
Oh, it's great. That's exciting.
You can still smell the. Anyway, enough about me. Well, interest rates, big deal going on there.
Yes.
We had an inverted yield curve. We had, people freaking out that there was going to be a recession, but it was just sort of a middle of the curve inversion.
Yep.
What's going on with it now, and what do you see?
Well, what we're seeing right now in the 10-year notes and the 30-year bonds, they're falling out of bed today because of the China-U.S. tariff discussions. And what I believe you and I see when we see market moving back and forth like this is we're just seeing capital flowing from one sector to another. So we see the
sectors.
stock, exactly. Well, we see the stock sector, the stocks,
right.
S&P and all these other indices moving up. We're seeing interest rates. We're seeing Treasury bonds and Treasury notes.
Money coming out of
down.
Bonds, going into stocks.
Interest rates, stocks, exactly. We're seeing.
Funny how that happens in October.
Well, October is an interesting month.
Amazing how that happens.
It is an.
We've got a few other forces at play here, but
but we're seeing it bleed across. I think like to metals. If you look at gold and silver, they're down today. Those are what I call excuse markets. It's not so much a supply-demand situation as much as it is
flight to safety.
Well, yeah, I feel that things may be getting better, so we take that gold investment and now we move it towards the stock market.
What about Dr. Copper? PhD in
I
economics.
gotta tell you, that one I think also is behaving as it should. I'm bullish on copper. I do look for long-term growth in that. Now today we saw a nice move in that, going back to the China-U.S. tariff.
Sure.
China's a #1 consumer of copper. Consumes about 48% of global supply. U.S. is number 2. Germany's number 3. China consumes enough copper every day to wrap a copper wire around the world 100 times.
That's pretty cool,
isn't it?
I'm seeing Superman flying around.
Me too.
Right?
That 100 times.
But where does most of the copper come from?
Well, actually, if you look at South America, we have a tremendous amount coming out from the east coast of Peru, from Chile. You also have Indonesia. Produces a lot of copper.
What about the Great White North?
Well, we have some being produced up there. We have some in the United States. We do produce some. What's interesting about it in terms of the copper itself, we don't have a substitute for it. And if you look at cars, we use 44 pounds in construction.
Houses,
we use 600 pounds of copper typically in the United States
per house.
In a new home.
That's right.
And we use 44 pounds to 144 pounds in a car, depending on the model.
That's one of the things you can take to the scrap shop and get some money for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's a unique product, and we're seeing some of the upward pressure because the idea being, if China does kick in and these other manufacturing does start getting stronger, we're looking for that demand in the copper market.
Finally, oil.
Crude oil, to me, is way overpriced.
Everyone's talking about today, it's going from worst to first. So there was some report out, I forget which.
Maybe,
but
I don't agree with it. Because we have global supply. If we had, their supply and demand does matter. And if you and I look at global supply, we don't have any issues there. And we saw nat gas pop up on the idea of cold weather in the United States.
So nat gas is more upside than oil?
No, I don't right now at this moment. And the reason I say that, we gapped up on Monday because they said, oh my gosh, it's going to get cold. We're going to use a lot of natural gas. It's anticipating something. But the issue is we don't have a supply issue. Just like
I think a great example of that was when that drone took out the switching station, whatever it was.
In Saudi Arabia.
And it was like, what, half their supply or something?
It was, it represented about 5% of the supply globally. And for them, it was a big hit, but they recovered fairly quickly.
But the oil market didn't move at all?
No, because we have a lot of supply out there.
Case in point.
Case in point.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm with Dan Gramza. Thank you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.